Chris Scalzo here with
Matt Howell. And this week on The First Run, we check out one of two 2024 films about imaginary friends, cleverly titled Imaginary. Two films about imaginary friends in a single year doesn't sound like a lot, but it's weird that it happened twice. Then we check the latest product of Millie Bobbie Browns' indentured servant contract to Netflix with Damsel. As always, there's the big release on physical media, the straight-to-DVD and streaming picks of the week. Then we wrap this up with a discussion of all the happenings at the 2024 Oscars. I'm not going to give anything away at all, but you know about that thing that happened. You know the one. Before we get to that, let's hear a little bit about Imaginary.
It's nice to see you again, Alice. Jessica told me you've been spending time with a new friend.
He doesn't want me to talk to you. Chauncey? My favorite thing is his eyes. I can see anything I can imagine in them.
He asked you to do something that hurt you.
Every culture has a name for it. We call them imaginary friends.
Just because you stop believing in them doesn't mean they're gone. And they're angry that you left.
Been there, man. So, Matt, what is Imaginary all about?
Well, a young family, a husband who is recently divorced and his two daughters moves in with his new wife into her childhood home. And quickly, the youngest daughter latches on to a bear that she calls Chauncey and is her imaginary friend. But as that trailer so deftly illustrated, something spooky's going on in that house.
Is it though?
Well, that was the intent, I think.
Oh, wait, fine. I'm watching this, Matt. I probably laughed out loud twice, which is never a good sign for a horror film.
Right.
Sighed, look at my watch 2 or 3 times. I'm like, oh man, I still got 40 minutes to go with this thing. Mm-hmm. And was I too hard on Madam Web?
Well, is Madam Web so bad that it's almost kind of good? Or at least
maybe.
It lets it's entertaining a bit?
Maybe. Wow. I mean, there's some groan-inducing dialogue and like Senator from Alabama Kitty Britt levels of acting in this film. That's a very timely reference, folks, if you're listening to this in 10 years. Yeah. But I'm struggling, Matt, to come up with something positive about Imaginary. Mm-hmm. It really was not a great experience for me. How about you? With all the horror we've seen the last few years, I mean, cinematically, let's leave our, the general real world out of this.
Sure.
How does this stack up? That's one of the big struggles, right? Is because we got so much great stuff the last just 3-4 years.
Right.
Last 2 years, let alone the last 10.
Yeah. And
then Imaginary gets released. Am I wrong? Am I off base here? Did you dig this thing?
Well, Imaginary is just keeping up the long-standing tradition of mediocre horror that's released in the first quarter. I mean, granted, it's late in the first quarter.
Yeah, that's fair.
But, yeah, I mean, it's not good. It's not well written, not particularly well acted. It's not scary. It's got the kiss of death. It's boring. It's not really gory, so it doesn't have that going for it. It doesn't have any clever kills. It's not really funny. Not really any suspense. So you're checking off.
Only one person dies, right?
Yeah, I think you're right. I think there only one person does die.
Spoiler,
yeah,
I guess.
But who's it gonna be?
And even then, go ahead.
Yeah, the monster design is not particularly clever. You're checking off box after box after box of all of the sins that you can make, and they're just hitting every single one of them, which is actually kind of a feat in and of itself.
Yeah, I mean, I need if I'm going to watch a horror film, I'm looking for at least 60-40, or let's be honest, 40, we'll say 51-49% level of believability in the character's fuck it. 30-70 of believability in the character's choices, right? I need to have a 30% appreciation for art. There's a 30% chance that somebody would do that.
Sure.
This film doesn't have like any of that. Like when the little punk kid who wants to get the young girl like high on Molly, or Zyrtec, and just the decisions that he makes. So when he goes upstairs to get the stuff and he disappears for a good like 8 minutes, and she never like blinks as to where he is that entire time, and the stuff that he does in there too. It's just the film is rife with this kind of just poor decision making by the characters. And you're going to get that in your bad horror films, but this is just chock full of it. And then Betty Buckley shows up as Gloria, who is the next door neighbor who is here to not only provide us all the exposition we didn't realize we needed, and very clunkily as well. And I remember Betty Buckley from a couple things she was in. 8 is Enough. I actually had an Adam Rich haircut at that time. That's another timely reference. And what else? She's did a bunch of stuff. So I couldn't place why I knew her. Then I looked it up. Like, oh yeah, I know Betty Buckley. She was in the Supergirl show actually for a bit. She was in Preacher, the final season as well. For people who are a little more timely. So yeah, but again, just bad from start to finish. And I felt like all right. I'll give you one positive. The imaginary friend turned demon bad guy, then when he gets corrupted by her leaving him, right? Visually, he looks a tad like Dr. Freudstein from Lucio Fulci's House by the Cemetery from '81, which is one of my favorite just bad horror films. It's just wonderful in its ineptness. That's not fair. It's a good movie if you like Italian horror. And he looks like that a little bit. So I'm thinking, all right, that's clearly an influence here. So kudos to that. And then when we get a fleeting moment, just a whisper of a chance that they're going to have the cojones to go with a downer ending. And they don't. And they chicken out again. Nope. Horrible. And then it's just frustrating. That's what it is, Matt. When you thought your parents were really mad at you, but they weren't. They were just disappointed. And that was worse. That's how I feel. With all the great horror we have out there, I'm disappointed.
Yeah.
Not even embarrassed.
But let's be fair. We saw this coming from a mile away.
I don't know if I did. I go in as blind as I can to these things. I avoid trailers like the plague. I'm always cutting it close. I know with my AMC theater, I got to give myself like a 25 minutes after the film start time, trying to avoid trailers. But yeah, I always try and avoid this stuff. And it's just, Blumhouse has become real hit and miss. I know was a few years ago, they made a deal with Amazon to put out some kind of B tier stuff on Amazon. And I confess I haven't watched a single thing. But I feel like this is where this should be there. The studio has done some good stuff. Happy Death Day, I think, is a lot of fun. That first Insidious film is rock solid. The Invisible Man reboot, freaky, I liked a lot. Right? Megan, I enjoy. So, I don't know, man. I got nothing to say. This is just a mess. And part of this, too, is like, I didn't find any of the characters even remotely likable. And also, I'm trying to figure out the age discrepancy between the dad and the oldest daughter. So she's 15. But he's clocking in at 30 something, maybe? I guess. So, I mean, he's a musician, right? So who knows? I don't know. But just a whole thing, she looked more like his younger sister than his daughter, I guess is what I'm saying. The whole thing was weird. I don't know. I'm sitting at an F. I am. That'd be my second one in a row. No, it wouldn't be. It's a couple weeks ago because of Madam Web. Where's Madam Web? Remember we never did Madam Web. I gave that the old Efferuni. There it is. Yep. I think I'm there too. It's the Freudstein. honorarium, whatever it is not enough. And that's so frustrating when they get to that weird MC Escher / Hellraiser dream imagination world that we've seen in a bunch of movies, and it's done so much better. Just frustrating. Disappointed.
Yeah, I think you talked me into an F. I thought I was going to be nice and give it a D-, but I think you've talked me into an F. I think you're right.
Good for you.
There's really no redeeming qualities whatsoever.
You know what? In the end,
Not a fan.
I'm not a fan. I got to amp the volume on that. That's too low. All right, there we go. A little juiced up for next time. Imaginary, Matt. I got nothing else to say. I just want to move on. It's currently playing in theaters near you. Don't go see it. Wait for it to show up on. I feel like what's the D level version of Shudder? I feel like that's where this thing should be.
Screenbox.
Is that it?
That's a real thing.
I haven't seen. I don't want to insult Screenbox. It's part of the thing though too. So I don't like the Albanian version of whatever Shudder is, where they film the Hostel movies for real. I don't know. Imaginary. Feedback at thefirstrun.com. I like to imagine I didn't see it. Thank you. Matt, coming up on physical media this upcoming Tuesday, March 19th. It's a mixed bag. I'm going to be honest with you. It's a mixed bag. So let's start it off.
This gun of the hand is for the taking of human life. We believe it is wrong to take life. That is only for God. Many times wars have come. And people have said to us, you must fight, you must kill. It is the only way to preserve the good. But Samuel, there is never only one way. Remember that. Would you kill another man?
I would only kill a bad man.
Only the bad man, I see. And you know these bad men by sight? You are able to look into their hearts and see this badness?
Matt, Peter Weir's Witness is being released in 4K this upcoming Tuesday, March 19th. We would like to define what an F is. Because when I was thinking about after I watched Imaginary, I'm like, is this Madam Web and these are two different? Are they really even Fs? Like, what do I need for an F? What's the criteria for an F? I think I got to nail that down because part of me thinks like maybe it should be a D-. I don't know. I have no strength in my convictions, I guess is what I'm saying.
Yeah, I think.
What's an F?
I think an F not only has to be like bad, but it has to reach a level of either offensiveness to either its source material or like Madam Web or in what it's trying to, societal offensiveness, or it's just so inept that it just can't get out of its own way. Like I still think it's an F film, but it's like an F plus. Like if we could, is what we could do.
That works for me.
Yeah.
I mean, we're 699 episodes in. Might as well get to defining this kind of stuff now. We're about to break off another hundo, as the kids say. Matt, coming up on Physical Media this upcoming Tuesday, March 19th, we're going to start things off here with number, I think they say, cinque in France.
Number 5.
Rent-A-Cop from Kino Lorber, the Burt Reynolds classic with Liza Minnelli. Gets a brand new 4K restoration and a new audio commentary as well, featuring critic Lee Gambin and actor Richard Mauser, who's an actor whose work I usually always enjoy. And then it's funny, my document auto renumbered everything as 1, so this will be fun for me.
4.
Target is being released by Kino Lorber as well, directed by Arthur Penn, featuring one of my favorite actors of all time, Gene Hackman, as well as Matt Dillon. So Dillon plays Chris Lloyd, who does not get along with his dad. He thinks his dad's a bit of a squish. Then his mom gets kidnapped, and all of a sudden Gene springs into action, revealing perhaps a hidden past for good old dad Gene. Brand new 4K restoration of that one as well by Paramount back in 2018. A new audio commentary included in that one too. And my next number 1, thanks to my misnumbered list.
Get 3 coffins ready.
What Lynch / Oz, Giannis Contemporaries. This is the new release arm of the Criterion Collection, I guess. Though I think Giannis is the parent company, or Janus, I guess, if you want to be more, I don't know. But this is Victor Fleming's film, The Wizard of Oz, in 1939, is one of David Lynch's most enduring obsessions. This documentary goes over the rainbow to explore the Technicolor through line in Lynch's work. So it says a guy who's basically fascinated with David Lynch's fascination with The Wizard of Oz and how it's impacted all of his work. Includes a Meet the Filmmakers, which is a brand new interview with the director, Alexander O. Philippe. What else we have, Matt? Ooh, okay.
The two youths.
Two what? What was that word?
Criterion is releasing The Runner, featuring Amir Nadiri's film. After enrolling in school, an impoverished boy finds conflict with his classmates and decides to compete to earn their respect. To get a brand new 2K restoration of that, supervised by Nadiri. A new conversation between Nadiri and filmmaker Ramin Bahrani. An archival interview from 2022. I don't know why I'm rushing. I have nowhere to go. And then Waiting, a 1974 film by Nadiri, featuring an afterword by the director, is included in this set. And then Matt, actually do have an appointment at 10. That's how cool I am, 10 o'clock at night. I'm guesting at a podcast that's on is it the West Coast? I said 10 o'clock as late as I go, baby. I'm too old.
Yeah, I thought you were going to go, you're not meeting your man, you're not meeting your guy about a thing.
Shh.
There can be only one.
My number one then is going to be the Ring Collection from Scream Factory is being released in 4K. You get all three films. I don't know why you would want to buy all three films, but you can get the Ring Collection. All four get a 4K restoration. And, it's interesting. They're described differently. So, Matt, the first Ring gets a new 4K restoration from the original camera negative, supervised and approved by Verbinski. Ring 2 gets a 4K restoration of the theatrical version from the original camera negative. I think maybe the unrated version is included on a Blu-ray. I don't know for sure. Look that up, folks. By your mileage may vary. New commentary is included on that one. There's a new featurette in the making of the first Ring on the Ring set. Includes a collection of deleted footage as well. And Rings, a short film that uncovers a terrifying and secret connection between the Ring and its sequel. And then Rings, the more modern sequel, gets a 4K master, deleted extended scenes, and more on that. I don't even remember the Ring 2, and I've never seen the Ring. I'm sorry, excuse me. I've never seen Rings, plural.
Yeah, I've never seen Rings, and I do remember Ring 2, and I remember it not being particularly good and mostly forgettable.
Yeah, but the first one I think still holds up, though I have not watched it since I bought that DVD. It's been a long time. If it gets dropped individually, I may pick it up. I did grab recently the Scream set. It was on Amazon for like $34 for the first three Screams in 4K. And I only had the first one, I think, on DVD. No, wait, I don't know if I do. That may have been one of my last VHSs, maybe even. Who knows? Either way, I haven't had them in a very long time. So, if at all. So I was all excited about that pickup for like $30-something bucks. Matt, also coming out in 4K, we talked about Witness. Also, K-19, The Widowmaker. This is the Harrison Ford submarine film. Changing Lanes, Dark Waters, the original one, not the remake with Jennifer Connelly. The 2019 reboot of Child's Play, and as well as the 2013 reboot of Carrie, all being released in 4K. Matt, you're streaming. No, you do streaming. I'm going to say the straight-to-DVD pick of the week. And as soon as I find my note, I will read it. The Bunker of Blood, Chapter 6, Zombie Lust, Night Flesh. I got a lot of semicolons in there. The Dead Want the Red in Zombie Lust, Night Flesh. The sixth skin-ripping offering from Full Moon's Bunker of Blood. This time, Matt, we follow the gore collector, Molly. And Tapehead, I'm sorry, Molly's not the gore collector, excuse me. She's part of the group. So let's reset that. The gore collector, Molly, and Tapehead, as they make their way to the Desert of Despair, to finally confront the dreaded circle of psychosurgeons. Deep within the psychosurgeons' ruined lair, the trio find themselves in the very same horror hospital that the gore collector previously escaped from, but they're not alone. Under the crimson glow of the blood-red desert moon, flesh-eating creatures that now inhabit the structure crawl out, intent on satisfying their unholy urges. Will our heroes escape? Should they escape? Matt, what should we be streaming this week?
Well, fun for the whole family, available on Hulu, is the delightful tale of a twee young lass going out to discover herself. Poor Things is available on Hulu for your viewing pleasure. Make sure you get the kids down, grandma, grandpa, bring in everybody, your neighbor. Just sit down and watch Emma Stone really deliver on this.
Ruffalo didn't win.
We said we're not going to talk about it.
All I said is that Ruffalo didn't win. That's all I did. I will say all right. I don't want to. Yeah, let's not make things confusing, Matt. All right, let's keep rolling then. And as Matt said, see if Millie Bobby Brown is close to wrapping up her contract with Netflix with the latest in her series of just unending adventures with Damsel. Whoop, that's the wrong clip.
It was all so very
Let's try this,
long
Matt.
ago.
Let's actually play the Damsel clip. How about that?
What is your greatest strength?
I always tell the truth, Your Majesty.
Some might call that a weakness. Do you know your heart?
I believe I do, Your Majesty.
And what is it telling you now?
In truth, it is beating too loudly for me to hear much of anything, Your Majesty.
Arise, Elodie.
I'm Henry. Very pleased to finally meet you, my lady. We all are.
My son understates our joy. And if I may say so, your father has understated your beauty.
I've never known my father to understate much of anything, Your Majesty.
I see she arrives with some wit.
Should you want it or not, Your Majesty?
That's Angela Bassett.
It is.
Who I'm assuming just happened to be in the neighborhood. And they said, here, Ange, here's a mill. Can you do about 20 minutes worth of work?
She commands more than a mill.
Probably. Well, I'm saying she's just walking by.
True. Fair enough.
So, what do we got here? Millie Bobby Brown is a princess. She, her father, the land that she lives in, Matt, is suffering through some really hard times, right? They don't have a food. It's up in a mountainous kind of cold area. Their fiefdom, their kingdom, whatever it is struggling. And they get an offer to marry her off, and then their kingdom, their group will then benefit from the riches of the most successful kind of kingdom there. So they agree. She agrees for the betterment of her people to go. But Matt, there's some trickery afoot in regards to this marriage. And it's going to be up to Millie Bobby Brown to figure it out. Not only figure it out, but fight to save her life. And end perhaps a centuries-long curse, I guess. I think it's century. Because there's a centuries jump. So, yeah, I guess so. Matt, Damsel's weird. I'm confused about Damsel. All right, so first off, Juan Carlos Fresnadilla I haven't seen Shooters, but I've seen 28 Weeks Later, which is a sequel to 28 Days Later. And 28 Weeks Later is solid. It is a rock-solid kind of zombie horror film sequel. I have no complaints with that film whatsoever. I don't know if it's my affection for Rose Byrne as well. I don't know. Regardless, it is very well done. And then he did Intruders, and now he's back with Damsel. If you like your fantasy films, the problem is I don't know who to recommend it to. All right? It's this big kind of fantasy epic. It's got a nice, I think, strong female empowerment angle. Even the evil queen, is the one in charge, not the king. Millie Bobby Brown is very strong and efficient in her own woman type of a thing as the princess. The men are kind of weak and kind of second shift kind of stuff here. So that's fine. But the issue I have with that is I'm surprised at how violent it is. But then it switches tones that sometimes it'd be like a kid's movie as well, in a way. And I think that's my big challenge with this movie. Like, I feel like it's trying to capture, for me, what I would say is the golden age of Disney, of dark Disney, as I like to call it. Your Something Wicked This Way Comes, your, all those kind of more challenging films, Watcher in the Woods, that may have been a little more mature for some kids, to watch. You can't be too young because it can be real intense at times, the adventure and the scares. But this teeters back and forth between the two so quickly that I don't know who to recommend it to.
Yeah.
For kids or adults, or I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know if you can recommend it to anybody without some sort of hesitation. Like, I was on board with this. I was like with you. Yeah. I was surprised at how dark they went, and like it was actually pretty, like you said, violent. It could be pretty intense and suspenseful in areas, and I was kind of down with it for like maybe the first 3/4 of the film, and then it becomes, and I don't want to come off sounding like an incel here, but the whole girl power thing at the end, the female empowerment, all that stuff, it's all fine, but it's all wrapped up in a way that seems very kind of trite and just kind of convenient. And I was a little disappointed by the way that it kind of wrapped it up versus like everything that had come before it, where it was a much more, harrowing look at this kind of idea, right? And honestly, as the ending is happening, all I can think of, and this is just from watching Game of Thrones too much, I was like, the sequel is gonna be somebody's life that they ruined, that baby Millie Bobbie Brown by her actions have ruined in this kingdom, and they're gonna come get revenge or something like that. And I would be on board for that at the same time, because I mean, I think she killed a lot of people. She had a lot of people killed. I'm sure that kingdom collapsed.
That's true.
So yeah, I think it's interesting that it's got these kind of dark elements, and I'm really on board for it. But that kind of the climax, denouement, the victory, if you will, all of that, it just seemed very rote to me, and it just really kind of landed with a soft thud as opposed to sticking it at the end.
I agree with that entirely. Yeah, I enjoyed having a more female-focused shift on the classic kind of fairy tale lore, the stories, and having it lean. I always prefer them to lean heavily more into the true Grimm's fairy tale side of things, and not the Disneyfied version of those stories, because they're a lot darker and scarier and violent. And I was surprised, like you said, how violent this is as well. And that's when I kept going back, like, well, who's this for then? Because the story and a lot of it is too rudimentary for adults, I think, really, to really engage with. And then also we have some kind of really, at times, shaky CGI like environments for them as well. And part of me is thinking maybe we should have watched Enola Holmes too instead. I don't know. I will say for Brown, I think she holds her own in this well. I think the kid's a star. I really do. I think she's going to have a lot of great work for a long time whenever she breaks this Netflix contract that she's clearly stuck in at this point, I guess. I don't know. But I don't know, Matt. The ending does thud. It really does. And like when she has to go through the cavern kind of cave thing all over again, and it's just it's eye-rolling instead of exhilarating is part of the problem. I'm giving Damsel a C, Matt, right now. A gentle lady's C.
Yep, I'm giving it a gentlemanly and gentle lady C as well. It's like, God, if they had just kept that dark tone and kind of kept it like just didn't go for the easy ending, this thing could have been something like an underground, under the radar special thing, but it just wasn't.
Unfortunately not. If you had a chance to see Damsel, it's currently streaming on Netflix. We'd love to hear your thoughts. Shoot us an email at feedback@thefirstrun.com. Ray Winstone is in this, who I love, man. I've just been wanting to rewatch Sexy Beast for like the longest time. So I gotta scratch that itch soon. It's driving me nuts. Feedback@thefirstrun.com. What are your thoughts on Damsel, currently on Netflix? Okay, Matt. Let's go ahead and wrap up the big show. And let's break down the Oscar picks. Let's see how we all did this week. See if I'm going to reclaim my crown, or if Matt's going to just rub my face in the beach sand again like the back of those old comics with the little weakling guy. Let's see how that goes next.
It's just it was all so very long ago, Mr. Robb, wasn't it?
Not really.
Long enough to have forgotten.
Did you return the card or rip it up?
The card whose existence I've forgotten?
Your Communist Party membership card.
Haven't the slightest idea.
Can a distinction be made between Soviet communism and communism.
Well, in the days when I was a member, I thought they were definitely two things.
Oh?
I thought that the Communist Party of the United States was concerned with our domestic problems. I now no longer believe this. I believe the whole thing's linked together and spread all over the world, and I have believed this since I left the party 16 years ago.
But
17 years ago. My mistake.
But you said...
Sorry, 18. 18 years ago.
Are you familiar with the fact your husband was making contributions to the Spanish Civil War as late as 1942?
I knew that Robert gave money from time to time.
Did you know this money was going into Communist Party channels?
Don't you mean through?
Pardon?
I think you mean through Communist Party channels, don't you?
Yes.
Yes?
Yes.
Yes.
All right, Matt, now it's time to go over our Oscar results. I have not looked at how I did. I'm going to do it live here with you now.
Are you tracking me as well, or do I have to track my own?
Nice. You gotta track yourself. I'm not.
What is this?
I'm not here to hold your hand. I thought you would have your own sheet in front of you, and kind of as we go through it, you'd be able to.
Big assumption.
I'm really disappointed
really big
right
assumption.
now that you didn't.
But I can say I did already look, and I think this, unless I counted wrong, which is a distinct possibility, but I think I'm going for a three-peat here.
Well, that's because I know about a couple of them already, but I don't want. All right, anyway, we have a very special treat for you. Joining us just for this segment alone, the Miss Lady Wan is here for our Oscars wrap-up. Hello.
Hello. I stumbled in here.
Exactly. We appreciate that. Yeah. She just randomly pops into Google Meets, and we got the lucky chat roulette right now.
What are the odds? That's amazing.
So, it's good to have you. What's been going on with you?
Oh, just absolutely living the dream.
Okay.
Was that convincing? Did that sound?
Yeah.
As the kids say, totes.
Yes. No cap.
So if you don't, for the uninitiated, I don't quite understand how this would be. I have the fortune of doing another show with Ms. Wan called ScreenRun. And we are actually in the midst of recording our 4th season right now. Yeah. We have knocked out 2 episodes. So they haven't been posted yet. Don't look for them. We want to build up maybe like one more.
One more.
And then they'll go live.
Yeah.
So let me ask you, do you want to reveal? Do you want to tell the fans what we're talking about this season?
Yes. So just to recap for everybody, we did Kevin Smith in season 1. We did the Alien films in season 2, and then we did every John Carpenter movie in season 3. So
that was a lot.
The natural 4th step would be Body Snatcher films. It makes sense. It's part of the DNA of some of the seasons we've talked about before.
True.
So.
Yeah, good.
It's really cool. So I'm super excited to be doing these movies. And also, it's nowhere near as long as John Carpenter's filmography, which is very important.
No, in fact, we had to shoehorn in a couple non-Body Snatcher technical films to kind of make it where, because it was only going to be, 4? Right? Because you got Invasion is the last one with Kidman and James Bond.
Yeah.
So we're doing The Faculty as well, and then Robert Heinlein's The Puppet Masters. That also, though, features Donald Sutherland. So there you go.
Can I ask as a fan of ScreenRun, can I ask a question, please?
Yeah.
So I know I kind of pressured you guys into going back to the Kevin Smith well when he released a new film. So when the inevitable new Alien film comes back, are you going to go back to that? All right.
Yeah.
I like how it's kind of a living document.
I
like that. Yeah.
Yes.
Of course. And I think Kevin Smith said he's doing a Clerks 4 too, right? Or something. Okay. He's doing something else.
I think he ain't done.
I don't know if he's done, but he should be done with the Clerks. Exactly. I think where they left it is a good place to stop with Clerks.
Yeah, I don't know. I have to see it.
I would have said we didn't even need a third one, and then I really enjoyed it. So, if dude wants to roll the dice.
Well, you did say you really enjoyed it, so that's good.
Yeah.
You did announce, I think.
I did, because,
late last year, early this year, that he finally wrestled Dogma away from the Weinsteins.
Wow.
So,
shit.
They're working on a Blu-ray version of that, which I'm very, very excited about. So, And I just read the other day too. There's some people doing there's a documentary on Chasing Amy for the queer community, which I think would be really interesting to get their perspective on that film.
Yes,
considering, all
necessary.
What, the love of a bunch of hetero white guys from the early '90s is not enough to debate on how good of a film it is.
Yeah, exactly. So, all right, let's stop wasting everybody's precious time, particularly Ms. Wands. And Matt, let's go through it. How do you want to do this? So
yeah, I think we use the same sheet, so let's just go.
Yeah.
We'll save picture for last, but let's just go on the sheet the way it is.
Okay, but you and I have two different sheets, so.
Do you?
Yeah, I used the actual Oscars one. I think you pulled one from I don't know, some Reddit thing.
They're exactly the same.
They're
exactly the same. No, they're the same. They're exactly the same.
All right. I never know with you.
I mean, it's fair criticism. I mean, I have done that in the past, but this time we just happened to sync up on this one.
Well, that's good. All right, so where are you starting from? Original screenplay at the bottom? What's your plan?
Sure, we can do that. Yeah, so...
And I should say, interject at any point.
Oh, I plan to. Yeah.
Okay.
All right, so I picked, for original screenplay, I picked Anatomy of a Fall.
As did I.
And I think, and that won, correct? So no shockers there.
Nope.
So that's a point for me.
And me.
And you, well, I'm keeping track of myself. You keep track of yourself.
So the next
Everybody
up
grade your own paper.
That's it. And
yeah,
then,
exactly.
Then I definitely will. Oh, no, I posted this online, so I can't cheat. You can
No.
check my work. Adapted screenplay, then, I selected American Fiction, which did win as well. Matt?
I did as well.
Son of a bitch. All right, next, Matt.
Visual effects, Godzilla -1 won, and that's what I selected. I believe you did as well.
Nope.
You did
I
not?
got screwed on this one because of you.
Me?
I love
you
it.
said
Your
the
fault.
problem is that Chris bets his heart too much. He has to use his brain instead. Don't go with
That's
your
true.
heart. So that's what I did.
Right.
Godzilla
Okay.
-1 was my heart choice, but in the end I thought, you know what? I think Napoleon may pull that out because there's a lot of CGI with that and a lot of the big battle scenes and all that stuff. So I thought that they would end up choosing Napoleon for that, and I got screwed.
You abandoned your heart, and then you just overthought yourself out of getting out of that. That's wow.
Yeah, you always got to stick with your first instinct.
I got to go with my gut. Well, I did the last couple of years, and I lost.
But at least you lost being true to yourself.
That's true. All right, so sound. I think this was like one of the few locks.
Yeah, and I messed this one up. I did not pick Zone of Interest,
what did you
I
choose?
picked Oppenheimer.
That's
for
insane.
sound.
That was clearly the mistake.
Not that
I wasn't
crazy.
thinking. I didn't think it was. Personally, I thought that was insane, but that's what I thought the Academy would go with.
That's fair. Yeah, well, that was my Napoleon thing. But the
So there you
sound
go.
design is so integral, depends on what you like to say, to that film. It is that film. I don't think isn't as successful without it.
I mean, I agree with you, but I mean, as we'll see later, I don't think for at least one egregious category, the Academy doesn't know what they're talking about. So therefore, I thought it was a good lock. See, now we're all tied up, my friends.
All right, what's next?
Go.
Live action short film, which is always weird because we usually don't see any of these, but this one I think we did. The Wonderful Story of Henry Sugar, which won, and that's what I picked as well.
Same. So we're good
Same.
there.
Okay. And animated short film was next, Chris?
Yeah, so animated short film. I don't even have. The problem is I don't have the winners up in front of me. I have them up. I just have to scan through my list.
So War is Over won.
Oh, yes.
Did it?
The Yoko Ono,
John I
John
got that
Lennon
one wrong.
thing.
Yeah.
I should have guessed that too.
And I got that right. Pulling out ahead.
Uh-oh.
Have you seen that one? Have you seen either of the short films?
No.
I always feel weird because Chris doesn't let us watch documentaries for the show, so I pick one, so.
I think that's weird. I don't think that's a fair statement. I mean,
it's a true statement.
I guess
maybe not a fair statement, but it's true.
All right, so production design, I said that Barbie was going to win, though I said that Poor Things should win. Again, going against my heart, and I got that wrong because of that.
All right, well, I got that right. I got Poor Things.
Infuriating. All right, what's next, Matt?
Documentary feature film, 20 Days of Maripol won, and that's what I selected, just by guessing, because I haven't seen it, nor have I seen any of these, so I have no idea.
Same here. Documentary
awesome.
Short film then?
Mm-hmm.
That?
The Last Repair Shop won. I did not select The Last Repair Shop.
Neither did I. I did the ABCs of book banning.
So did I.
So we got
that seemed to fit. But I guess that was a cool repair shop.
So we're on the film editing.
Yep.
And Oppenheimer and Oppenheimer for me. Win. Selection.
Same.
All right. You got international feature film.
Zone of Interest, which is a huge layup. Well deserved, but that's what I had as well.
Agreed. No concerns there.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Makeup and hairstyling. I selected Poor Things, and that won.
Yeah, I did not. I selected Maestro, but there you go.
I got something. I got one.
Yep.
What do you got, Matt, for original score?
Score, I selected Oppenheimer. I believe Oppenheimer won as well.
Yes, it did. And I selected Oppenheimer, though my heart said this time it didn't steer me wrong that Poor Things should have won.
I mean, just any time you see Ludwig, he's going to win.
Yep. See, Juan knows.
That's true.
She knows what's up.
I think you're right about that. So then, where are we? Then song?
Original song, yeah.
Best original song. I said that this one I selected the What Was I Made For Barbie, and that is what won.
Yeah.
Yep. Me too. Even though, again, the second greatest tragedy of the night, or travesty of the night, is because I'm Just Ken absolutely deserved to win it.
Did you watch it? I know I didn't watch the Oscars. I've seen pieces of it, but
I did.
What did you think of the I'm Just Ken?
Oh, it was fantastic. It was so perfect. It was everything I could have dreamed of when I found out he was going to be performing it. Like, I was so excited. Like, and the thing is, you knew Billie Eilish was going to win. Like, it's such a beautiful song. It works so well with the movie, but if you just never saw the movie, the song is still so poignant and perfect. I'm Just Ken doesn't work without the movie. Crazy statement, but just like he threw everything into it, and it was just so perfect. All the other Kens up there with him. The
Slash appearing out of nowhere.
Yeah. The Diamonds Are a Girl's Best Friend of it all was just so good. I love Ryan Gosling. It's a problem. I mean, there he is behind me on the wall. So
yeah, I don't blame you.
Yeah.
I love Ryan Gosling as well.
Yeah. Yeah. It
Can't
was
stand him.
so beautiful. Yeah.
Okay.
And then he gave the mic to Emma Stone for a bit, like to participate, and then
you get your little La La Land reunion.
Oh, so good. So good. Yeah.
Where are we going next, Matt? Direction?
Yeah, so I guess, do you want to start? Let's start back at the top. Actor in a leading role.
Okay.
And then we'll run that down that way. So actor in a leading role, Cillian Murphy, Oppenheimer, he won. That's what I selected. I'm sure you did as well.
Yep. Actor in a supporting role, RDJ, selected and won.
Same, yep. This is where the bullshit comes into play.
I don't want to talk about this.
Uh-oh.
I'm still very, very upset about this.
Oh, boy.
Me too. So actress in a leading role, Emma Stone won for Poor Things with her showy performance, and Lily Gladstone was robbed for the best performance of the year, which is what I selected.
God damn! God damn! God damn! Fuck!
That's basically my reaction. I was
wrong.
Very upset.
I was so confident that Emma Stone was going to win. Everybody being like blown away by it. Just,
you were really confident that she was going to win?
I was. As soon as she won the BAFTA, I was like, it's over.
Oh, okay. Fair
so,
enough.
and I saw the movie for the second time the evening of the BAFTAs, and I was with my friend, and I said, well, she just won the BAFTA, so she's a lock for Best Actress. Get ready for this. And I was right. So
yeah. Wow. I guess we should have asked Juan.
Yeah. I could have teed you in there. I feel like, I know Lily Gladstone was really good, but I feel like they would have had more luck if they'd pushed her for supporting actress. Because
I think she would have. I think she may have lost then. Even there,
I think she would have lost.
I think she could have had a better shot. I felt like once. I don't know. I just think
Well, Why do you go with supporting? What's your logic behind that? Because I know some guy was on Twitter today said like she's only and I was gonna post something about that because I think I'm gonna say this respectfully to you because I care about you as a human being. That's bullshit. All right. Because there have been other Oscar winners who've had smaller run times than that in lead categories, and her presence permeates that entire film. She's everywhere, even when she's not on screen.
Yeah, but I don't think you can award the presence when she's not on screen when it's an acting award. She's got to be there for it.
But her performance is just so much. It's so subtle. It's so naturalistic. Whereas Emma Stone's feels like, I called it an art project, and that's basically what she's doing. She's just kind of showing off, like, and it just, which is fine. I mean, it's interesting to watch, and she's good at it, but it's just not a naturalistic performance for me.
I mean, it's big, it's bold, I'll even say brave performance by her. It is. I think I've said this many times. It's the best performance of her career, and for me, the second best performance of 2023.
What did she win her first Oscar for?
La La Land.
Oh, did she win for La La Land?
Hello.
Okay, I forgot.
How could you?
What it was?
Yeah, that's actually, she is not her personally, but that is the reason why La La Land was misread as the Best Picture winner is because the envelope said Emma Stone for La La Land, and that is what they misread because they just panicked and saw La La Land, but it had her name on it. That's part of how the mistake happened.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
All right. Actress in a supporting role, Divine Joy Randolph in The Holdovers. Devastating performance. That was my selection, and that's who won, and I think that was the right choice.
Yeah, that's what I picked as well.
Did you see The Holdovers one?
I didn't. I didn't get to it before Christmas, and then afterwards it felt weird. I just felt like I couldn't go back. I was like, I got to keep moving forward into the new year. I can't go back.
So when fall comes back around again, then you'll finally catch up with it?
Yeah, no, absolutely I will. Like, without a doubt.
All right, Matt, is this where I lose? This is where I lose, right?
No, it's not, because I picked Spider-Verse.
Oh, okay. As did I.
And I said I thought it was likely that Boy and the Heron could put a real push on them, but I didn't select it. And that was the wrong choice.
All right.
And I think costume design, I think Poor Things won for that as well.
It did.
And I thought it was going to be Barbie, so I didn't get that right. And I think you did.
Nope, same.
Oh, okay.
I thought
it should have been Barbie.
I thought they were going to choose Barbie, but I think Poor Things should have won.
Okay.
Again, my heart. You disagree?
I think it should have been Barbie. I do.
I agree.
I think, I think the accomplishment of going through the archives and all of that for what they did for Barbie was more a greater accomplishment, I would say. The costumes in Poor Things are obviously really cool and very unique, and obviously done by that woman up there who was wearing her own creation as she accepted. But I just think the cinematic accomplishment of the costumes in Barbie was Oscar worthy, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm. I agree. I mean, but then putting in like even the rollerblades and the neon suits and everything, that was way.
Oh, wait a minute.
Way more effort.
Wait a minute. What won?
Poor Things.
Oh, it did win. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, I had it.
And that's what you selected, isn't
it? I selected Barbie, but I wanted Poor Things to win.
Oh, okay.
That's what I got all confused for a second there.
You picked the right thing, but for the wrong reasons. Okay. Anyway, so directing, no shock. Christopher Nolan won for Oppenheimer. That's what I picked.
Yep, same here.
And then take us home, Chris. Best Picture.
Where are we? Best Picture. Well, it was Oppie. Oppenheimer pulled it out. Christopher Nolan is officially a good director.
Thank God. I'm glad we have that settled.
Now we know.
So
there it is. So what's all right? I'm going to count these up right now. This is going to take me about 5 minutes. So if anybody wants to put on some music or something. All right. So I got probably how many categories are there again? Would that be easier? Probably
I don't know.
Let's do it this way. 1, 2, 3.
I feel like you lost, Chris.
4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. I got 16 right.
Well, that's what I got as well. I got 16 right, so we tied.
So no AMC gift cards this year, I guess.
No gentleman's bet. Yeah. So do we roll it over? Now is the next one even bigger?
Oh yeah, double down. We gotta go. Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess.
Do we just keep it a rolling pot? I guess. Yeah. It was the boy and the heron that screwed me. That's what. That's the one that messed me up.
And if I'd gone with my heart, I would have gotten 3 more correct.
See, next year
That's
he's
upsetting.
gonna go with his heart and he's gonna lose terribly.
Yeah, right.
But feel good about it, and that's what matters.
Feel good about it, yeah. Feel morally right.
Yeah. So there you go, Matt. What's coming up? Well, actually, how'd you do in your Oscar poll? Shoot us an email at feedback@thefirstrun.com. We'd love to hear your thoughts. Any parting thoughts on the ceremony? What you did see? I did appreciate John Cena's little skit there for costume design coming out El Natural. Juan, what were your takeaways from the Oscars? Anything that stuck out to you?
I absolutely laughed out loud at the Danny DeVito, Arnold Schwarzenegger little bit that they did, and I never laugh out loud at award show banter. I hate it. I wish they would just not do it. It's so uncomfortable to watch really talented people just not care. But that one was great. I loved it, and Michael Keaton was game for it. It was really funny. So that was my favorite, and obviously also John Mulaney, because got hilarious. Like dunking on Madam Web was so good.
I did not see that. I heard it's pretty good. I have to cue that up, I guess.
Yeah. It was a good show. Good show.
Good. Matt, any other parting thoughts? Did you catch up with anything?
No. I mean, I watched the Ken performance, and that was about it. But now with all of these lovely recommendations, Juan, God, I know what to go track down on YouTube, and that's what I'm going to watch. So there you go.
There you go. Those are your shorthand notes.
Matt, what's coming up next week on the big show?
All right, so we're checking out Love Lies Bleeding, and then for the big 700, I can't believe it's been 700 fucking episodes, is Dead Alive.
I haven't
700 episodes.
Yeah. I haven't seen that film in probably 25 years. It's been a long time, so I'm happy to kind of revisit it. And breaking off another hundo there, Juan, coming up soon.
If we make it to 1,000, that's it. That's it. I'm done at 1,000.
Well, you said you'd do this.
Dropping the mic and walking away
in the old folks home together. I'll be all right.
Well, that's pretty close.
That's only 300 more, right? And that's 50 plus a year. So you're only talking what? Another 6 years?
We'll be in our 50s. Yeah, we'll be in our 50s by then, Chris. 50s.
All right. In the meantime, you can find us at thefirstrun.com. You can find archives of all the old shows, seriously. And then the report card is there. You can see what grades we gave stuff. And there's a little player there now. So you can actually just go to the website, and then you can start listening to the episodes there. What else is there? I guess Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube. Do a search for The First Run. Scroll. Eventually you'll find us. Head on over to Apple Podcasts. Give us a review is how you say it. And it'll help other people find the show. And I guess that's going to be that. Juan, thank you so much for joining us for this little Oscars recap. It was great to see you.
Yeah, thanks for not kicking me out.
No problem. And we'll talk to you again. In fact, Matt is going to guest on one of our episodes.
Yeah.
Body Snatchers, the 1993 version, which maybe is going to be recorded right now. I have no idea.
I don't know. Maybe.
Suspense.
We'll have to see. All right. In the meantime, everybody take care of yourselves. Do you want to drop your socials at all? Do you care? You don't really like our audience, do you? It's up to you.
Just listen to ScreenRun. That's it.
ScreenRun.fun.
Yeah.
And go to the website. You can just find all the episodes there.
Yeah.
Wonderful. All right. That's it, folks. We're going to go ahead and take an extended break. We love you very much. Take care of yourselves, and we will see you soon.
Good.